Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of the Stay Weird Show. Today's guest is Kent Ohori. Kent is the first person in Australia and second person in the world to complete the Everest Man Challenge, right here in Brisbane, Australia. He is a strong advocate of mental health and empowering everyday people to accomplish incredible things through the use of exercise, just as he has done. He's the founder of Rebound Club, which promotes exactly that, and an all-around legend and old friend. I had a blast with this episode and really hope that you guys enjoy. As always, stay weird. Three, two, one. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Stay Weird Show. It's my pleasure today to be here with an old friend of mine and someone whom I'm a big fan of, Kent Ohori. How you doing, dude?
I'm pretty good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, dude. What have you been up to?
This week, not much.
Not much at all, eh?
Yeah.
Just taking it easy.
Taking it super easy.
Nice, bro. So, for those of you who don't know, Kent Ohori is the first person in Australia to have just finished the Everest Man, it's called, yeah?
Yeah.
Epic, dude. Epic. When did you first find out about this?
Well, I actually thought I came up with the idea.
Yeah, okay.
So I didn't even know that anyone else had attempted it before. And I've got a charity event coming up in April, and to kind of pitch to all these sponsors and all these brands that I wanted to work with, I was like, well, I'm going to try to attempt to be the first person to do this Everest Man thing. And then one of the sponsors kind of mentioned that, there's actually someone who's already done it. And I was like, oh, damn. But yeah, so I kind of thought that I was the person to kind of come up with this idea, but there's one person who'd done it, but either way it was going to be a big attempt.
Oh, gnarly, dude.
Yeah,
real crazy. Yeah, that first dude was Mayak. I wrote this down. Mayak Vade, this Indian guy. Yeah, gnarly dude.
Yeah, so this guy who I've been speaking to, so he's the guy who created the whole Everesting challenge phenomenon, basically.
Yep.
And he kind of told me about Mayak, and he got me in contact with him. So I've been talking to him quite often.
Cool, dude.
On email. He actually emailed me just yesterday night, just congratulating me, which was awesome.
Dude, congrats. Seriously, congrats,
Thank
man.
But
do you want to explain? Sorry, mate.
Yeah,
do you want to explain what the Everest Challenge is?
Yeah, so there's a thing called an Everesting challenge, which is basically it's either on a run or a bike, basically, or cycling. And basically you just pick a hill climb of your choice, and you just basically do laps or repeats of that particular climb as many times as required to reach the same accumulated elevation of Mount Everest, which is 8,848 meters, 29,032 feet if you want to be exact.
Yeah. And
so
in total, how many kilometers was that kind of horizontal also?
Yeah, so like that's an Everesting challenge, so not an Everest Man. So an Everesting challenge is what I just explained. And you can do it either on the run or the bike. But with the distance, it really depends, because if you have a less steep climb, then you obviously can't accumulate as much elevation. So it ends up being a lot further distance. So I found a sweet spot where if you can do an Everesting challenge on the bike within 200 to 220 Ks, that's like the sweet spot where it's steep enough.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But there's guys
that's
that
like
do
the 45 degree.
Yeah. So there's some guys that do like a really low gradient climb, but it takes them like 30 hours.
Yeah,
and
gotcha.
they do like 400 Ks.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
But basically, that's an Everesting challenge, and an Everest Man is a combination of an Everesting challenge with an Ironman or a triathlon. So an Ironman triathlon. So swim, bike, and run, and trying to accumulate the 8,848 meters within all disciplines of an Ironman.
Yeah, crazy, dude.
So obviously the swim you can't do, you can't get any gain any elevation, so you just got to do that in distance.
Still pretty gnarly, the swim, man.
Yeah.
You went 9K.
Oh, I went 9,090 something.
Yeah, nice.
Just cause, I guess.
Where did you do the swim?
In Nogra Reservoir.
Okay.
Yeah, pitch black.
How was that, bro? That's pretty gnarly, just jumping in pitch black, going swimming.
You know what? The first time I did an Everesting challenge, and, you know, I've kind of been challenging myself and kind of, you know, I'm pretty comfortable being uncomfortable now.
Yep.
You know, at first there was a lot of like fears and, you know, a lot of like, you know, being self-conscious about, you know, being scared of the dark. Like, I'm so scared of the dark. Like, you know, living in Japan and having all these ghost stories on TV and stuff. Like, I'm so scared of the dark. But I guess like you just come accustomed to being able to, you know, fight off your fears. And
and kind of step into it. Hey.
Yeah. So, going into it, I just didn't really think of it much.
Yeah.
You know, I knew it was going to be pitch black, but
just so used to being in that situation.
Yeah. I had another swimmer with me, and I had a kayak with a light, and my videographer and photographer were there as well.
Nice, man.
But yeah, I guess once I got in the water, you know, you just like, oh, it's the same as when it's daylight.
Yeah.
It's just there's no
all
daylight.
Of these, you know, all of this fear that's been built up over nothing. Yeah. Hey.
So like I was not scared about it at all. But I was listening, like in my head, I was repeatedly singing that Pina Colada song. That kind of helped.
Do you like Pina Colada?
I don't even know the rest of the words. But I was literally just saying that one sentence, like, on repeat for 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, when you get in the zone, hey, and it just like you just start to chew the meters down, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
But yeah, it's definitely just overcoming that fear. Is, you know, I just don't think about it now. It's just kind
nice,
of like,
right?
it's all just in our mind.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's cool, mate. Really cool. Would have been awesome if it started raining when you were doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
And so the first Everesting challenge was on the city cycle up Mount Cootha, yeah?
No, so I did it first on my normal bike.
Yep.
So I did the Ironman race, and that was where everything, I had just got all this inspiration and empowerment to kind of give back to the community. And through that, I was like, oh, I need to try to do a charity event of some sort to kind of share my story and to give back to, you know, and promote exercise for better mental health. So I was like, well, I want to try and do an Everesting challenge.
Wicked, man.
And then a mate that I was with was like, dude, so many people do Everesting challenges. It's like, why don't you do it on a city cycle bike? And I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe that would be a bit more challenging. So to do that, so to do that, I was kind of like, well, I need to do it on a normal bike first. Yeah. So that was, so the first one was on a normal bike.
Just to test it out.
Yeah.
Cool, bro. Yeah. And the city cycle, how much more difficult was it on that?
Well, the bike weighs 3 times more.
Which is heavy. And do they have gears, or is it just the one gear?
One gear, basically. It's got 3 gears, but you can't use any of the other gears.
Okay.
Climbing,
yeah. Why not? Just because they're too heavy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
When you're climbing.
Cool. For those of you who don't know, Kent and I were friends like 10 years ago, where we used to go out and party and do all of that. So we're both on completely different pages right now, you know, which is nuts. But it's really good to see you again, man. Yeah.
Really good to see you.
Do you mind sharing your story, dude, of how you've kind of got to this point in your life, man?
From when, like...
Because I remember, like, we all parted ways, just finished uni and whatnot, and then I saw you disappeared over to Japan for a bit, mate.
Yeah, so I was kind of like in the nightlife industry. So, you know, running our own club night events.
Whereabouts in Japan?
So this was West Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, Fukuoka.
Yep.
But before that, I was in the nightlife industry in Brisbane.
Yep.
And
DJ.
It was just a very unhealthy lifestyle, so I kind of thought that I needed to get away.
Yep.
Move back to Japan. You know, I was, you know, I grew up in Japan, so trying to get back into, you know, my heritage, and, you know, I might not get another opportunity to do it. So I kind of moved away. It kind of gets me away from all the bad habits, bad lifestyle. Man. And I was there for like a year and a half.
Yep.
Just really kind of just being by myself. Really.
Yeah. Okay. Cool, man. Love it.
You know, just getting a lot of nice quality Kent time, and just really kind of reassessing my life.
Cool, bro.
Reunited with my dad as well, who was over there.
So how long had it been since you'd seen him?
I see him maybe every couple of years.
Yep.
But yeah, from maybe the age of 12 to 18, I didn't see him once.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that was nice.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
Really cool.
So yeah, kind of reunited with my dad, and a few of my business partners from back here. They were opening up restaurants, And we always kind of planned to open up a Japanese restaurant. And so what I did was, I reunited with my dad, and I actually brought him back to open up another Japanese restaurant in Brisbane. So when I came back from Japan, we kind of got into the hospitality industry, opened up a restaurant, and that was really successful. And and then my dad just passed away.
Sorry to hear about that, dude.
That's okay. Yeah. No, it's everything happens for a reason. So like, it was kind of tough at the time, but I'm a strong believer in everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. It's really cool to hear you say that, mate.
Yeah. Thank you. When he passed away, I kind of really, once again, just reassessed everything, and then that's when I started to kind of, at that time, I just recently got back into running because I was getting so unhealthy.
Yeah.
And luckily I had this Gold Coast Marathon in 2 months. So I had that to kind of look forward to, and the training from that really helped me kind of look into the future rather than kind of dwell on the past.
For sure, mate. It's easy to dwell, hey, bro.
Yeah. Like Dad was healthy, but it was kind of weird, like how it all happened. I felt like he knew that he was going to pass away.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks before he passed, and I didn't really pay attention.
Yeah. At least you got to spend like lots of time together when he came over here and things like that. Yeah,
exactly. It was almost like he helped me set up this restaurant with the business partners and everything.
Yep.
And then once I was kind of on track with this new life, he was like, "Yeah, I've done my job. I'm going to tap out."
Epic, dude.
Yeah. So we're kind of like, when I think
pass the baton.
Yeah, exactly. But that's when my kind of newfound appreciation for exercise came about.
Cool,
really helped with the grief and, just kind of accepting reality and, what has happened has happened and you got to move on.
Yeah.
And,
make the most of life, hey?
Yeah. And just, exercise really kind of helped release my emotions and, and that's how,
where it all started, dude. Yeah. And then it's just kind of snowballed.
Yeah.
To freaking Everest.
Yeah. From that, I got a running injury after the Gold Coast Marathon, but the Gold Coast Marathon finishing.
Sorry to go back. So your father passed away, and did you already have the Gold Coast Marathon?
Yeah.
Were you already aiming to do that?
Yeah. So we actually came back from a business trip in January, and that was maybe like 6 months before he passed, and I basically came back and remember being on the flight and just thinking how unhealthy I am. Like I just had this little gut, and I was on this flight back from like drinking and eating like amazing food over in Japan. I was like, but like I'm just so unhealthy. I need to start running again. Yeah. So I got off the plane and put on running shoes and went for my first 5K.
Nice, dude.
That was like 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago, and I almost vomited.
Yeah, for sure.
But I had Gold Coast Marathon already as a goal before my dad passed away, which is very lucky.
Yep.
Because if I didn't have any like exercise goals or something to look forward to, like I think I would have kind of gotten to this like really bad spiral of bad habits and
just slumped, dude. For sure, man. Yeah, for sure. Goals are freaking important, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And then, how long's Rebound Club been going for now?
So Rebound Club originated. Love
the name, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No matter how low you are, you can always rebound.
Bro, that's it, man. You can always go up, can't you?
Yeah. We hit some low points, but it can always get better.
That's cool, mate.
So it all started when I did the first City Cycle Everesting challenge for charity. So the first time I ever kind of, decided to give back to the community and raise money for charity. And raise awareness for mental health and share my story. So I kind of used that as like the starting point, which was April last year. But I didn't really know what to do with it. Like I was just like, well, I want to just create like a brand where I can kind of a platform basically to use to kind of share my story. That's all I wanted to do. And try to promote exercise within the community. But it didn't really kick off till like maybe end of May, June. Where we started kind of this run club basically and helped a few of our friends train for the Gold Coast Marathon. And then, so it's only really been kicking off for like the last 7 months.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm an avid follower on Instagram.
Yeah. The muzzle toff.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, cool, mate. What's next for the Rebound Club?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just funny. Like I always had the goal, the main, the core mission of Rebound Club was just to promote exercise and to kind of empower people to, and how much benefit it is for your mental health, and another kind of really important value of the whole business is to kind of empower people, and lead by example, to everyone that has ever thought about maybe trying to do something crazy with exercise to raise money for charity. Like, I remember when I kind of thought about giving back to the community and doing this crazy thing on the city cycle, I was like, yeah, but like, I'm just a normal person. Like, I can't do that. Like, leaving yourself vulnerable and sharing your story and,
it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. It's
respect,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like, I've been through that process where like, I really, I wasn't really open with my life. I didn't really use Instagram. Like I wanted to keep my life private, but I had this story that I wanted to tell and wanted to give back to the community. So Rebound Club is also about trying to lead by example and to show people that anyone can raise money for charity and give back to the community. So like we try to provide a lot of tools and help and assist people that want to kind of do their own charity events. Yeah.
And just to let them know that like they can do it.
Yeah.
It's not superhumans that are doing this stuff. It's regular people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And even in the past 6-7 months, we've had probably 8 different stories of people that have raised money.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a marathon, first marathon, or another guy did a 90K run. Another guy did a 120K run.
Yep. I saw that Rory fella did.
Yeah. So Rory did 30 marathons in 30 days for November.
And that's 42 point something Ks.
Yeah. So I think he did like 1,260 something Ks in 30 days.
Gnarly, dude.
Yeah. But these are just normal people.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Like you said, man.
So like, we're trying to create this kind of platform and community where, we can just show people that like we can all make a difference.
Yeah, I love it, dude. Man, exercise is definitely crucial for your mental health.
Yeah, for
seriously, I've struggled a lot with anxiety, dude.
Yeah,
like freaking social anxiety mainly, man. Like walking into just rooms full of people and just kind of having to leave, man. Getting panic attacks and things like that. And I've noticed that when I push myself physically, it like disappears, that stuff.
Yeah,
and if I'm consistent with it too, it's just like. You're just like kind of walking through the street and it's just way lighter. Everything's way lighter,
What do you think it is? That helps?
Oh, I think just kind of like you were saying that once you get to that difficult point and you're out of your comfort zone and then you go past that, it just gives you so much confidence, man. Yeah. It's like,
for sure.
You're like, yeah, I can do this. It's
exactly,
like, I can do anything, man.
Yeah.
I seriously feel like I can do anything.
Yeah. I 100% agree. And it's exactly how I think of it is that the more hard shit that you do, the easier life gets.
Bro, right?
Because you've done some hard shit.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
So like people that haven't done that many hard shit, like haven't challenged themselves or pushed themselves, whether it's in academics or exercise or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, if you've had an easy life, like, it's so easy to kind of just get caught up in a lot of struggles, which a lot of other people, like maybe myself or, you with the exercise now, like you've kind of done some hard shit. So like you feel like you've kind of mentally stronger.
Well, 100%.
And you got the confidence, like you've got,
Exactly, dude. So yeah, I'd say I had a really easy upbringing, mate. Like just real easy, never really had any hardships. And then once they did come along later in life, they just kicked me for 4,
For sure.
And I wasn't equipped to handle them at all, man. So it's like little things that should have been nothing really cost me a lot, dude.
Yeah.
And it's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But like you said, once you actually start to kind of search out for difficult things to do, everything else gets a lot easier.
Yeah.
Like, how did you feel after you finished that Everest challenge?
Which one?
All of them.
All of them.
Mainly the last one.
The last one? I don't know. How did I feel? I was just built up of a lot of emotions.
For sure.
Just because this one was really about trying to focus on the community and seeing the community band together to help me. And when I finished, I literally just broke down in tears.
Cool,
and I was like, man, I can't believe this community has come together to help me. And obey my orders when I'm just like asking for this and like, you know, Tim Tams and like this and that. But like just seeing everyone kind of push themselves as well, because they were kind of running with me and everything, and you know, they ran PBs, like everyone was running further than they ever have and all this. So it was very different to all my other events.
Where you were just by yourself.
But yeah, I kind of just like, not too sure. Like, this one was definitely different. But for most of the other events, I guess, you know, you just become empowered. Like, you know, I'm tired, but more so it's just like another life training session, you know, like I've just done something even crazier and harder, but like I've just overcome that. Like, and that's just so empowering. You know, and also proving to other people that never really, you know, who probably would have never thought that I could do this. And
dude, 10 years ago, man, what?
You know, smoking
out
20
in the valley, freaking just partying, long hair, going nuts.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, like I've just come to the point when I did my first Everesting challenge, or even the Ironman, which kind of started everything. You know, that was really for me, like to prove to myself that I could do something crazy. Like not crazy, like, well, it is crazy,
but just to do it, man.
Just to do it, like something that I didn't think I could do.
That you just kind of always admire people on TV or on social media. You always admire them. You're like, man, that's cool. That's really cool. I'd love to do that. You know, I'd really love to do that.
It's also like, you know, a lot of people talk about doing things, but there's only so many of us, you know, there's not many of us that would actually walk the walk.
100%.
I wanted to be, when I was looking at doing the Ironman, you know, I never swam more than 1,000 meters. I was like, Jesus Christ, like trying to swim 3.8 Ks and then cycling 180 Ks and then doing a marathon. I was like, man, this is like out of my realm of capabilities. But then I was like, what's stopping me? Like, fuck it. Like,
that's cool.
You know, I got some, you
Send
know,
it.
So after the Gold Coast Marathon, that was like the first kind of like challenge that I ever did. And after that, I kind of just realized, oh my God, like we are all capable of more than we can imagine. And it was something that I just wanted to kind of embody for the rest of my life. And that kind of just, that kind of motivation and drive kind of helped me make that choice to do the Ironman and do the Everesting challenge. And I guess the more you do, the stronger you get.
Oh, for sure. Every time you get outside of your comfort zone, you kind of expand it, man.
And so like, you know, I didn't grow up with like a lot of confidence, and, you know, like this kind of gave me that confidence I needed to kind of just, you know, tackle life and give it as much as I can. And so I guess it's just really empowering to know that you are capable of more than you ever thought. And so every time I do something, you know, like this, it just gives me a little bit more.
For sure,
just leveling up, basically.
That's cool, man. Really cool.
Yeah,
especially there's a lot of comfort around these days, you know, and I think personally, I think that definitely is attributing to the rise in kind of, to the decline in overall mental health, you know, as a population. Just because life's getting really easy, man. That's so a fact. I noticed that because I haven't been working, dude. So it's been difficult to try and keep busy, man. And the exercise has saved me. But I notice if I don't do it and I just sit around home all day, like I'll go out and I'll be anxious. You know, for sure. But if I exercise, I'm good. Yeah, I know people that you know, close to me who have, you know, severe anxiety and, you know, are suffering through a lot of mental health issues, but they're not going out and trying to, you know, tackle this head on. Whereas, you got to attack it, hey?
Yeah, you know, they stay at home and, you know, it's unfortunate. They kind of just stay in their little comfort zone. You know, because they want to feel safe.
Yeah, dude.
Which is important, but at the same time, it's not what really helps with your mental health, I don't think.
Not at all. And going back to that, like you said before, going back to that comfort place after doing something strenuous is just like, man, this place rocks. You know, you understand why you like it so much. It's just,
oh man, like even on Monday and Tuesday, so the 2 days after the Everest Man challenge, so like I was exercising for 40 hours. I slept for 20 minutes. In like, I took the temperature gauge off my computer and my watch just so I wouldn't be able to even see like with my own eyes
what's going on.
But it was like 32 degrees.
Yeah,
And
summertime, interesting
it was
time to tackle
it. Was cooking. Well, that's another reason I was like, well, I could do it in winter, but that's actually, makes it even more comfortable. So I was like, well, I'm going to try and make it as least comfortable as possible.
Cool.
But yeah, Monday and Tuesday, so the 2 days after I finished, I watched Netflix all day.
Oh, but you can, man.
Man, but how good is it? Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not like as humans, we kind of just get sidetracked by all these, these like
comforts.
Yeah. Like
pleasures.
Netflix and, whatever it is. Like, and even like bad food, not exercising. Like, it's actually really nice to not exercise.
It is, isn't it? Like, it is. But the thing is, when you overindulge, it kind of takes the pleasure out of it all, you know? Like, the cookie's not as tasty, the Netflix isn't as good, man.
But it becomes your reality.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't think anything else when you're watching TV every night. That's just what you do.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I'm just always pushing myself. So that's just what I do. So I just feel like it's normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I try to remove a lot of bad habits and distractions from my life.
Oh, I'm sure you probably would have been laser focused on this thing, hey?
Yeah, for sure. And, I've trained a lot. Like, when people see what I do, I just hope that they realize that, like, it's just like an iceberg.
Yeah.
All they see is the tip, which is the actual event. But like, I've been training for years for this.
It's not like an overnight thing.
Yeah. It's just like anything, like you got to really work hard to be able to get to this point.
And I saw you did the half one just as a tester.
Yeah.
Kind of back in December.
Yeah.
And how was that after that? You were like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah, basically. So the bike portion of this, this event is super easy. Like I've done probably 10 or 12 of these bike Everesting challenges. So I knew I could do that, but the run is something I'm kind of concerned about. So I wanted to do a half distance to just see if it was possible.
Yep.
And as long as I could do half, I can finish it off.
Cool, man. And like coming into this full one, what were your days looking like, or what were your weeks looking like?
Like training?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So training, we'll go day by day
if you want. Yeah.
Because like it's just repetitively. Like, every week is the same.
Okay, cool.
So Monday morning was a bike ride, and then a swim in the afternoon.
Yep. How far?
So swim would be around 4Ks.
Yep.
I hate swimming. So like I just kind of broke it down. Every swim was 4Ks. So every week I was doing like 12Ks.
Yep.
So yeah, bike and a swim on Monday. Tuesday is a run and a gym. Wednesday is bike and swim. Thursday is a bike and a run straight after, a brick run.
What's a brick run?
So that's just when you run straight off a bike.
Okay.
So they call it a brick run because your legs feel like bricks.
Yeah, I've heard that's pretty difficult, that transition.
Yeah. And then a gym as well on Thursday. And then Friday was a swim and a easy bike.
Yep.
Saturday was the Rebound Club social run, and potentially a ride. And then Sunday was just like a longer ride.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
And what's the gym session looking like?
So I got a PT who's kind of sponsoring for another upcoming charity ride, charity event. So he's kind of just got this program, and it's just based around my legs. So like calves, glutes, core, and a bit of shoulders.
Yep.
So that's basically it. Yeah.
Yeah, nice, man.
I also every day, and I've been recording it on my GoPro for future, is I've been doing 50 push-ups every morning.
Cool, bro.
Just
straight out of bed?
Well, no. So after training.
Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of have this stretch routine. I do a lot of stretching as well.
Yep.
And this was more just to show people that like you literally can do 50 push-ups in the space of going to the toilet to go do a number 2.
Yep.
So you can't say you don't have time.
Yeah. I think I do a lot of push-ups too, man.
Yeah.
Every time I go to the gym. And I think they're good too because like there's that point when you're doing them and you really just want to stop.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
But that's kind of that mental feeling
Yes.
where you have to go through.
Yeah.
You just got to ignore that.
Yeah.
And the more you put that to your back of your brain, it's like the easier it is just to keep going.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. And I think that's like, relates to anything, like even mental health or, everything I do with all these exercise challenges. Like I've just conditioned my mind to be strong.
Yep.
Like physically, I'm probably just as strong as anyone else.
Yep.
It's just, I just know that when my body says no, it's not actually no.
Yep.
keep going. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
test.
Cool, man. Cool.
But yeah, like the push-ups, like it does get hard.
Yeah.
But you just got to break it down, and you can actually do more.
Yeah.
It's just it does hurt, but
Yeah.
like you can keep going.
Yeah. Always just one more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I imagine it definitely gives you a lot more control over your brain,
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Are you a fan of David Goggins?
Yes, I am. To an extent.
Yeah, to an extent
Yeah.
too.
I haven't read his book, but I've seen a lot of podcasts and YouTube videos on him.
Yeah.
And I do get where he's coming from. I just think it's pretty intense.
Yeah, same. I've read his book, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't mind it, but yeah, I think I'm not sure how much he enjoys life.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of enjoyment in life, like you can get
Yeah.
following this type of stuff,
Yeah,
whereas he's just like, just pulls to the wall.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Yeah. Well, I actually was speaking to someone this morning about it, and a lot of people could probably say that my story to some extent is similar to David Goggins, but I just think like he just goes a bit too far.
Yeah.
And he's all about push and go, but sometimes you do need to stop.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's got a brake lever.
No, doesn't look like
he doesn't
it.
have a handbrake.
No.
For an example, so over the course of the Everest Man over the weekend, on the run, I was meant to do it on a trail, climb. And the reason was it's easier on the feet and it'd just be walking up and down, basically climbing up a mountain. But after 20 Ks and 4 hours of running, there was this unexpected storm that came through. And so like it was meant to be clear skies.
Yeah.
Everything I do, there's always setbacks. And so like this was a setback. I haven't had one event or any challenge that there hasn't been something like this happen.
I think it kind of happens that way too, as an extra test, isn't it?
Yeah.
From freaking
the physical demands of these exercise challenges is one thing, but I think the hardest thing to overcome is the challenge, the setbacks.
Yeah.
And like that's where you have to. It's either like you keep going or you stop, and it's like a 2-second like space where you have to make up that.
And because it gives you an excuse
Yeah.
that you could fall back on. You're like, it was a storm.
Yeah, man.
It gives you a perfect excuse when nobody would say anything,
exactly.
to get out of it.
Yeah.
And you can either get out of it or you can keep going.
Exactly. And at 2 a.m., so there's 4 guys with me. Oh no, there was like 10 or so guys, and they kind of just like slowly dwindled till there was like 4 people at 2 a.m. Another mate, Tim, who didn't run with us, but he was up the top, just kind of at the base camp, just at HQ. And he was like, hey dude, like there's this massive storm coming. There's like a massive patch of red. I'm like, what's red mean? He's like, not good. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, what am I meant to do? Like, we can't run up this little trail climb in the wet because we'll just slide.
Yep.
And so we just kept going until the storm came, and then we literally got in the car. So I got in my own car by myself. Everyone else went in their own cars, and we're like, we'll just have a little nap and just wait for the storm to blow over. We're like, yeah, cool. Okay. So I had a 20-minute nap, which like just went like that, and woke up, and it was just like lightning, thunder, like torrential rain. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I'm alone. I'm like, fuck, this is it.
That would have sucked in that car for a bit, hey, man?
Yeah. This is done. I've already been exercising, like moving for like 23 hours.
Yeah.
And
you can kind of see the end in sight
and
too.
I was like, oh, this is done. Like everything I kind of worked myself up to, and I was just thinking of what I could do. Like the rain, even if the rain kind of passed, like the surface is going to be really slippery. I was like, that was like the moment when I was like, oh, maybe I just quit.
Yeah,
maybe I should just give up.
For sure.
And being by myself and not being able to talk to anyone, I was kind of like, oh, like it's really hard to kind of convince yourself. And I hadn't slept for 26 hours or whatever. But then Rory, the guy who did 30 marathons in 30 days, he called me at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30, and he's like, hey, man. And I'm like, hey. And this is literally after I was thinking about quitting.
Yep.
And he's like, what are you doing? And then we kind of talked about it. He didn't convince me or anything. He was just kind of like bouncing ideas and, just hearing me out. And, I was like, well, the only way I can do this is if I do it on the road. But if I do it on the road normally without any support cars driving me back down, I'm going to have to run 200 Ks.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm getting to with the David Goggins thing, is that I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
Like if I run 200 Ks on that road, like I'm going to get a stress fracture or something, and I'm not going to be able to, that's not leading by example. And so that's where I kind of think I'm different to what he's doing.
Cool.
But yeah, Rory, basically we talked it out, and I was just like, it's back on. Like, he didn't really convince me, but I just needed someone to talk to. And then so after that, I just I called one of the guys in the back, and I was like, mate, you got to drop me down to the bottom. I'm going to run on the road. It's still raining, like pitch black. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not stopping. Like all this, the community's there, like everyone's counting on me. Yeah. And I was like, fuck this, I'm not losing to
You're
Everest,
a mad kid.
yeah. But that was the setback, man. Like, just in life, there's always setbacks. And it's just whether you want to keep going and pushing and, trying to overcome it, or you just want to, give in and, watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Like,
and I bet if you had called in then, you never would have had that kind of emotional, that rush of feeling that you had at the end, right?
Yeah. And it was just that 2-second like thought process where I was like, it's just as easy to stop, but it's also easy just to keep going. And and the rest is history. Like,
but sometimes it is hard to keep going too when you're kind of like, oh fuck, gotta keep you gotta step back, take that first step again. You know?
And it was just weird because when I packed my bags before I left, I had 2 pairs of trail shoes. So I always intended on climbing up this trail for the run portion. And then just before I packed my bags to leave my house, I was like, I'm just going to chuck some road shoes in there just in case. I was like, I don't know why. And then at 4 a.m. in the morning, I was like, this is exactly what I need, road running shoes. And I was like, is this meant to just happen? Like, I have no idea, but it's really freaky.
That's gnarly, isn't it, dude? The intricacies of the universe, right?
It is,
man?
like, everything I've done in the last 2 years, I just feel like it's just meant to be because it's always just worked out. I just had to keep pushing forward.
Man, it's really crazy how all of this happens, eh?
Yeah.
Dude? Like, it's cool, man. Life's really cool in that
regard. It is, yeah.
Especially when you find something that it feels like you're meant to be doing, man.
Yeah.
It's like, the path's there. It's not easy, but it's like, you got to do it, man.
Yeah. Like, like you were saying just about your work and, you just weren't feeling it.
Wasn't feeling it, eh, man?
I feel like a lot of people are in the same position. They definitely are in the same position, but they don't have the confidence or the, to be able to make a change.
Yeah. Another thing is I'm in a very fortunate position where I can kind of quit my job and not work and still survive. But
I mean, like, people that aren't enjoying their job.
Yeah, man.
But they'll just keep suffering.
Yeah. Why, hey?
Yeah. I went through a massive change, and all I felt was that I had a higher purpose to give back to the community through my newfound confidence and empowerment through exercise. And so that's where this all began. And something happened with work, and I was like, oh, this is actually the perfect, this is the chance, the only opportunity I'll probably ever get to kind of to get out of this business.
Yeah.
And I took it.
Wicked.
Yeah. And that's, the rest is history. I'm just kind of continuing on with this newfound mission, I guess.
Cool, bro. I love it, man. Life's mission.
Yeah.
Purpose, dude.
Purpose, yeah.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love it, mate. And you said you had a charity ride coming up on the East Coast?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, of course. So it's in April. So last April is when I did the City Cycle thing. City Cycle Everesting Challenge. And that was on my dad's anniversary of his passing.
Love it, man.
1 year. So I'm doing another one which will end on the same date. But this one is called an East Coast Everesting Challenge, and then riding for mental health awareness.
Yep.
So basically I'm doing an Everesting cycling challenge. So 8,848 meters of elevation on a bike, probably around 14 hours per ride, in every state and territory along the East Coast, starting in Hobart and then finishing in Brisbane.
Cool, man.
Yeah, in 7 days.
Yeah, okay.
So 5 and 7 days.
Yeah, wicked.
Yeah.
Love it. You might have to go to Mount Everest and climb it.
Yeah.
The actual one.
It seems pretty hectic.
It does now. I think it's like too popular, isn't it?
I watched that the 14
Peaks.
14 Peaks, yeah. The day the Friday night, so the night before I did the Everest.
Cool, bro. Get
Everest
that
Man.
inspiration.
Yeah. And there's a part in the video where they show, like, they capture all the footage of like 300 people lining up
when he took that photo.
And I'm like, do I really want to wait in that?
Yeah, that's what I feel, man. It's kind of like the novelty's not there anymore.
Yeah, I'd like to do a climb like that, but maybe just not Everest because it just seems too dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I heard that there were people kind of dying waiting in line, right?
Yeah.
No,
I don't want to die waiting in line.
Nah, don't even get to the top.
At least get me to the top.
That would suck.
Yeah, you don't even get to.
How did he pass? Yeah, he died waiting in line at Everest. You know,
it's like you're waiting at a shopping center.
Yeah, imagine.
At Coles,
waiting for that new Apple iPhone.
Yeah.
I'm surprised an Apple store will probably be at the top there soon.
Yeah,
you know?
could be. Yeah. Little shuttle bus or shuttle flights. I would like to do something like that. Obviously, you know, I'm so used to doing the elevation and, you know, even because the news interviewed me quite a few times, and that's one of the things that they wanted to ask was, would you ever climb Everest? But I would love to. It just seems like logistically, it's just a bit of a
nightmare.
Yeah.
Probably choose a different mountain there.
Yeah.
There's a few of these endurance events around the world. Hey, I was doing some Googling before coming here, man. Yeah, some gnarly stuff.
Yeah.
Have you got any of them that stands out you'd like to do?
This year, I've got a few, like the charity ride. Overseas, I qualified for the Ironman World Championships, so Kona, which is a massive thing. Yeah. So that's in October.
Yep. That's sorry to interrupt, man. That's like the peak of the Ironman.
Yeah. So that's one thing I really want to take seriously and kind of like really enjoy it.
Cool.
But ultra endurance events, I don't really have anything in mind.
Yeah.
There's this one that Mayak, so the guy who did the first Everest Man, he did this one. It's called like, I forgot what it's called, but it's basically from the UK all the way to Paris.
Arc to arc.
Arc to arc. Yes.
I was literally reading that before coming here, man.
Yeah. That's hectic.
Bro. Across the English Channel.
Yeah. It's like 35k swim. Because he did it.
Has he done it yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Because they had the list of runners.
Maybe
he hasn't. 2022. Yeah. He was there.
He was on it.
He's freaking going again.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I find that when I do these charity events, it's not about like a race, and I like to just create my own event.
Yeah.
And also like I don't know. I just don't know if I need to do any of those kind of races.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Like, it's all about just proving to myself and to lead by example. But, you know, I don't want to go too extreme either.
Yeah.
You know, like, I've got a really nice thing happening with Rebound Club, and, you know, there's so much that we can do with the community rather than for me. Like, you know, everything I do now is not for my own benefit. Like, even the weekend, it wasn't really for me. Like, I don't really care if I did it for myself. Like, I'm not even going to register the time online because I don't really care. But it's all about just the community.
Yeah, respect.
So, like, if I go overseas and I do this arc to arc thing, like, it's cool for me, but is it really benefiting my mission to kind of help the community?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So I probably won't do anything like that.
Yep.
I like to do like 100-mile running race.
Okay.
But who knows? Like, who knows?
See what happens there. Yeah.
One thing I do want to do is I want to ride from the northern tip of Japan to the southern tip.
Yep.
And just only feed off 7-Elevens.
Okay.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Not to do it fast, but just to kind of document the whole story. Like, you know, because
it's
I'm
an
Japanese
interesting
and,
thing, man, for sure.
But yeah, I don't have any of those kind of endurance events. I thought that arc to arc thing would be pretty cool, but like 35k swim seems like hectic. And it's also expensive.
Yeah, okay.
Like, you know, so.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit against charging so much money. Like, you enroll to go and do something that you could really just do for free anyways. You know, you could just...
Well, that's another thing. Like, you know, we can kind of provide some sort of like platform or like event that's free, like an Everesting challenge. We could have like with Rebound Club, we could be training people to do their first Everesting challenge, you know, like, and that's free. Yeah. Like, you just got a mountain, like Mount Coot is perfect for it.
Cool.
Like, you know, things like that. Like, it's all about,
Sorry, mate. You must love Mount Coot, eh?
Oh, it's funny.
Love hate.
Love hate. after the bike portion on the weekend, I was just telling everyone, like, after I finished, I'm like, thank fuck I don't have to climb one more lap of the road where I was riding. And little did I know, 4 hours later that I'd be running up there, doing 96 laps or something.
Mount Cooper's probably just laughing at you.
Yeah. Well, I'm laughing back at it because I won. Yeah.
Do you have any kind of people you look up to in this sport?
No.
That's cool.
Not really.
Yep.
I really I kind of look up to like Mayak because, you know, I really did ask some questions in regards to this Everest Man challenge, and, you know, he's doing this arc to arc thing. I'm pretty sure he's done it, or maybe he hasn't, but, you know, he has swam like 40 Ks, just gone out and swam that much. Like,
insane amount to be swimming.
That's pretty cool.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
There's a few like professional cyclists and, you know, triathletes and things like that I look up to, but not so much for like inspiration with these like crazy events.
Yep.
You know, David Goggins to an extent, but not so much. No.
Yeah, I got you there.
Yeah,
I got you there for sure. In terms of like a life role model, I don't really prioritize him as a life role model. But in terms of if you're having a hard time, you can do something about it. Yeah, that's when I'll put him up there. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like he can motivate you. Yeah, like that, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's not a very well-known thing, the Everesting challenge. Like doing the 3 of them, is there? No wonder.
The Everest Man thing?
Yeah.
No. Well, I just think it's just too crazy.
It's nuts, man. So enough 40 hours straight of exercise. That's insane. Hey?
Yeah. So I think
not like easy exercise, intense exercise.
Well, the run, so Mayak did it unsupported, so he descended down on foot as well.
Yep.
Which was my plan as well until the trail got washed out. So I had to get a lift down, so I wasn't running 200 Ks. But I think his time was like 50 something hours.
Yep.
So mine was a lot faster. But yeah, I guess the faster you do it, the quicker it ends, right?
Yeah. Get me out of here.
Yeah. My goal was just to do it within 48 hours. But just from my times, I kind of felt like around 44 hours would be around the spot.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, once you get into it, man, like it's just, I know my paces. I know like, you know, my nutrition, like what to eat, what to drink, what to ask for, you know, like from the support team. Like I just know exactly what to do now. So like, it's kind of, you just in a constant battle with like making sure your pee is clear and making sure you're always full, because that means you've got food in you, and forcing food down. Yeah. And making sure all that kind of worked out. Definitely allowed me to kind of get that 40 hours.
Cool, man. Yeah. Cool. So what are you eating during it?
I started with sandwiches, and I used to make a lot of rice-based dishes.
Yep.
But I just can't be fucked anymore.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I think I did it because I thought, like, you know, there's such a bad rap with gluten.
Yep.
And I thought it'd be better on my stomach if I had rice, and maybe because I'm half Japanese, it'll give me superpowers.
That's what they said, like Popeye, right?
Yeah. So I feel on rice. But no, it didn't make a difference. So I had sandwiches, you know, some treats, lollies.
Yeah.
I try not to have like too many chocolates and things like that. I've got this newfound appreciation for Maxi Bonds, and it's more just a reward. And I think by the time you get into like these hectic events, it doesn't matter what you put in your body. It's all the same. It's all carbs.
Just energy, right?
So even if it's milky Maxi Bond, like it doesn't, it's just like the taste.
It gets eaten up.
It just gets absorbed into your stomach.
Yeah.
But I started with sandwiches and try to constantly eat whole foods.
Yeah, nice.
But I've got a nutrition sponsor called Tailwind, who do a lot of electrolyte powder.
Yep.
For like Powerades, but more super concentrated. But I always made sure that I was taking, you know, a certain amount of electrolyte powder and water every half an hour.
Yeah.
So I was always getting sodium. I was always getting carbohydrates and, you know, feeling that way.
Yeah.
And then just topping it up with whole foods.
And did you struggle at any point during this with like cramps or anything like that? No,
not once.
Nice. Man.
And so I used to think that cramps occur because of heat.
Yep.
But I think it's more conditioning.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm from the gym. Make sure you do gym. If anyone's trying to train for a triathlon or a run or anything, like it's the one thing that everyone always skips, but it's the thing that's really important.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I didn't get one cramp at all. Like
Nice,
the
man.
whole weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was reading on one of your Instagram posts that it might have even been the Gold Coast Marathon where you were like cramped up and just wrecked.
Yeah, completely destroyed. And I feel like, I think heat does have a thing to play with it, but I think it's conditioning.
Yep.
And because this event is also, because it's such a long endurance event, you're not going super hard. Like it is hard.
Yeah.
But you're not going super fast. It's not like you're doing a super fast 10K or like a marathon. So I think there's less chance of getting a cramp, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
But I didn't get one cramp.
Nice, man. And what did you eat afterwards?
I had a chocolate milk straight after.
Chalky milk.
Yeah, chalky milk.
Yeah, righto.
That night. And we just had some pizza. I really didn't want to eat.
You would have been feeling,
Yeah.
Well, I can't really imagine how you would have been feeling.
Yeah.
Not kind of like your body would have just kind of spat it out or something. Would have been in a bit of shock, eh?
Yeah, for sure. I was so highly caffeinated. So one thing I do, if it is like an overnight thing, I try to restrain myself from any caffeine until like as long as I can hold off.
Yeah.
So like I waited till around 1 a.m.
Okay.
So started at 3:45 a.m. on Saturday, and I didn't have caffeine till Sunday morning at 2 a.m.
Cool, man. Just until you start to get really tired.
Yeah. So it's like a bigger hit.
Yeah.
But I was so caffeinated Sunday afternoon because I had like 3 cold brews. I had like Red Bulls. So Red Bull are a big supporter of Rebound Club. So they hooked us up with heaps of Red Bulls. So just chugging as many Red Bulls as I can and caffeine gels. So I was pretty caffeinated. So that probably had a lot to do with not wanting to eat as well.
Sure.
And not being able to sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a lot of junk food still in the Eskies from people that brought it over the weekend. So Monday and Tuesday was literally just eating everything. Like it was so good.
Just going ham, hey,
big packet of M&Ms, like ice creams, like big packet of like Smith chips.
Yeah.
The
shackles are off.
Yeah, 1.5 liter lemonade, like boom, straight down.
I love it, dude. Yeah. Yeah, that must have felt nice.
Yeah. But definitely the nutrition part of it and fueling yourself for something like that is the most important for sure.
Cool, man.
But yeah, I've kind of just figured it all out. So I kind of know exactly what I need to have.
Yep.
And, you always reach a point where even though you're drinking so much, like it was 34 degrees or 32 degrees, when I was peeing, it got so dark. And that's when you have to just scull heaps of water.
Yeah.
So you always got to be like looking for the signs and just trying to like fight them off.
Yeah, just a balancing act, right? Yeah, cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rebound Club looks like it's really growing consistently, man, as a community and everything.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just so grateful for everyone that's been a part of it. And I guess the weekend was a testament to like, what we're trying to build with my business partners as well.
Cool.
Is just a community full of legends that just want to, do great things with their lives.
That's cool, man. And help others to do the same,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. We've got a lot of things happening this year. Like we've started our own kind of running race called the Secret Race.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a secret rave where like you just get sent an address basically. So the whole concept is that people know basic details about the event. And then we basically announce the location through email at 4 a.m. on the race morning.
Yep.
So
what time does the race start?
7.
Okay.
So if it's somewhere really far away, we'll give them a bit more notice. But yeah, we've started that. We've got a lot of sponsors and brands that are wanting to work with us now, which is really cool. Like Lululemon, Red Bull, Brooks, and a few other brands as well, a few other brands. So that's kind of kicking off, which is cool because I think like, the Gold Coast Marathon and all these events are awesome, but they've been the same for like 30 years. It's like people want something different, and we're all about trying to just be a bit unique and empower people to use exercise within their own lives. So we're just trying to entice them in different ways, in more exciting ways.
Yep.
And yeah, we've got a few other things happening this year, which is going to just build the community. So it's super exciting.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Congrats. Great start to the year, hey?
Yeah, thanks.
Wicked, man. 2022.
2022.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
May as well wrap up there, mate.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Sweet.
Cheers, dude.
No, thank you very much.
Can you say stay weird for the freaking podcast?
So what do you want me to say?
Stay weird.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Just one thing I wanted to say is stay weird.
Boss. And anything else you'd like to say in regards to Rebound Club or just anything you'd like to leave on?
I guess I'm just so grateful for every day that I live now. You know, I'm doing what I want to do and on my own terms. And it's something I'm so passionate about that I don't really care about the money or anything at the moment. And I guess, you know, I just want to tell you all that, you know, we have to be the captains of our own ships. And if we don't, someone else is going to drive the ship. And we only have one life, you know. And I got to witness, you know, with my own eyes, my dad's, you know, lifeless body. And it kind of really sets in that we're also going to be in that situation one day. And it's going to come up really soon.
Yeah.
So you might as well be the captain of your own ship. So
we could literally die at any moment.
Yeah.
You know?
I could have died on the weekend.
Yeah,
I was probably close.
Easy, man.
As much as I didn't tell anyone.
Man. Yeah.
Someone tried to sit me in the car and have a nap on Sunday because it was so hot. And I kind of listened for 2 minutes and then I kept going.
Yeah.
But maybe that could have been a difference between me dying and not.
Who knows, right?
But yeah, we can literally just die in a minute. And, you know, I've seen it with my own eyes. And I think that's why I've got this newfound, you know, motivation and drive to kind of just do what I want to do.
To live, right?
To live, yeah. Because we're not here forever.
No, man.
Yeah.
Got to make the most of it.
So just make sure you're doing what you want to do.
I'll say another thing too. You know, it's scary at first, like you said earlier in this conversation about being vulnerable and putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's really difficult at first, but it's really freeing once
It's
you do
free.
it.
Yeah,
it's like so liberating.
It is.
And it just kind of stops you kind of giving a fuck about what anyone else thinks.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, I can do this.
Definitely. You know, the first time I tried to do an Everesting challenge or like an exercise challenge overnight, like riding a bike up Mount Cootha at 2 a.m. in the morning, I'm thinking to myself, actually, like, why the fuck am I doing this?
Yeah,
like,
it sounds insane at first.
You know, and you not think about yourself, but you think about what other people think about you.
Yeah.
And like, you know, people, you know, that live a normal life, having a 9-to-5 job, and they're looking at you like, why the fuck is this guy like, you know, riding a bike at 2 a.m. in the morning? And it's like, you know, kind of leaving myself vulnerable through the first charity event and sharing my story, and you kind of just get used to just, you know, not caring what other people think.
Just
like,
throwing it on the table.
and
hey?
it's actually, you know, people say I'm crazy, but I actually think it's crazy that that other people don't actually try to challenge themselves.
Bro, right.
And so like when they call me crazy, I just think like, yeah, like, you know, whatever. Like,
yeah, for sure, man. You're nuts.
It's not crazy. It's you're nuts that you're not trying to live your life.
Exactly right, man.
Yeah.
To get after kind of what's in your heart, dude.
Yeah,
you know?
and just seeing how far you can go.
Exactly,
with your
man.
potential.
Because you can take it to the limit,
Yeah.
dude.
Well,
for
there's no
sure.
limit.
There isn't.
Well,
right?
David Goggins is pretty close.
Yeah.
But seriously,
You'll
like,
probably find out.
and the thing is, like, you know, I'm trying to push myself through exercise because it's the easiest way to gauge and kind of test yourself and have a result. And, you know, it's the easiest
sure.
way. But, you know, this is something that you want to spread across to all areas of your life. Like, you know, like with your career or anything, like, you know, you can just have that same drive and empowerment that you get through exercise and kind of, spread across to other areas.
Yeah, man.
So, but yeah, just be the captain of your own ship because you're not going to be here for forever.
Thank you, dude.
Stay weird.
Stay weird, people. Mate, before we leave, you're a huge inspiration to me. Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate.
Cheers,
Thanks for having
brother.
me on board.
Too easy, dude.
Yeah, stay weird, motherfucker.